This is Always Outnumbered, Always Outgunned, chapter The Double Standard, section 4. Are you going to answer my question, boy? What do you want, man? You want a couple dollars? I want to know what you have against your wife. Angel. Socrates saw the name sink into Ralphie's shoulders. This means that Socrates saw that Ralphie understood what he was saying. The young man slumped down and shook his head. I don't even know you, man, Ralphie said. That's right. You can't even see me while I'm standing here right next to you. You can't even say, hey, brother, what's happening? You can't see me, but I could see you. So what do you want? It wasn't so much the question, but the pain in Ralphie's voice that stopped Socrates cold. To stop someone cold means to stop someone really strongly, to stop. He thought about those imaginary workers in the bakery that might have stood there. He thought about thinking about what he'd do if they ever let him out of jail. He thought about the cold in his chest and the fact that the wiring in his apartment could not take the strain of an electric space heater. This means that his apartment can't have heat. 100 needs went through Socrates' mind, but nowhere could he find Ralphie. Yeah, Ralphie demanded. Are you just going to stand there and look at the rain? Socrates considered the young man again. He wore black pants with a white shirt that had an off-white t-shirt showing at the open collar. His trench coat was drab green, or a dull green, darkened by the rain. The shirt meant that he had a job in some store or office. A working man. Well? Ralphie asked. Socrates thought about a promise he had made. A murky pledge. Murky means unclear. A pledge is a promise. So, a promise that he made that he wasn't really clear about. He swore to himself that he'd never hurt another person, except if he had to, for self-preservation. Self-preservation means to protect yourself. So he said that he would never hurt another person unless he had to protect himself. He swore to try and do good if the chance came before him. That way, he could ease the evil deeds that he had done or perpetrated in the long evil life that he had lived. The sound of the rain filled the air, and he got the urge or desire or want to tear off his own ears. I'm sorry, Socrates said. What? I'm sorry, he said again. He tried to remember the last time he had apologized. He had regretted or felt sorry for the crimes of his youth, blubbered or cried like a child over the couple he had killed or slaughtered. But they were dead. He had never, in his memory, apologized to a living soul or a living person. What's that supposed to mean, you are sorry? I was just mad, that's all, Socrates said. Mad that you and your girlfriend didn't even see me. Yep, that's it. Ralphie was lost. He tried to stay angry, but all that showed on his face was confusion. He didn't know whether to speak or to stand back. Socrates saw a bus coming from many blocks away. You see, Socrates said, I was talking about Angel and Warren, about how you were hurting them. But really it wasn't that. At least not just that. How do you know about what I'm doing to my wife and son? Ralphie said. Socrates watched the bus coming over Ralphie's shoulder. He could make out the bright lights of the big windows up front. It was like a chariot burning in the rain. I don't mean to disrespect you, son, Socrates said in a mild tone. It's just that you're only a little ways up the road from your own house. People who know you go up and down this street. If they see you and that girl, it's going to hurt Angel. And you know there isn't any reason for that, is there? The bus behind Ralphie stopped at a red light. She can't tell me what I can do and what I can't, he said at last. Me neither, Ralphie. Me neither. You do what you have to, son. I just mean. Socrates paused for a moment and wondered what it was exactly that he did mean. I'm just saying that we have to know what we are doing. Linda has something you need. Okay. But you don't have to rub Angel's nose in it. You don't have to make it so that Angel has to know. It's just like you did to me. What did I do to you? You looked right through me, brother. Socrates felt tears in his eyes. You're across the street with that girl right in front of me, like I was some kind of animal, like I didn't even matter at all. And then you couldn't even nod to me. The bus rolled up to the shelter. It was their bus. The brake sighed and the door levered open. Ralphie moved toward the door. Socrates fought the urge or desire to grab the man's arm, to keep him there listening to his apologies. But he didn't reach out. Ralphie got in the bus, the doors slammed shut, and the bus glided away on a film of water that shimmered with streetlight. Section 5. That's how I got sick, Socrates told Wright Burke from his fold-out sofa bed. He'd been laid up with a bad chest cold for many days after he'd walked 3 miles in the rain. To be laid up means that you can't get out of bed. He had been alone until Wright Burke, a retired World War II veteran, came by to see where he had been. After seeing Socrates prostrate in the cold house, prostrate means laying down and can't move. So after seeing Socrates laying down, unable to move, in the cold house, Wright went out for aspirin and soup mix. He brought flavored gelatin and apple brandy to ward off the virus or protect Socrates from the virus or take the virus away. The first 2 days, Socrates was too sick to say anything but what he absolutely had to. On the 3rd day, he thanked the maimed ex-sergeant. Maimed means that he's lost a body part like a hand or a leg or something like that. On the 3rd day, he thanked the maimed ex-sergeant and told him the story of Ralphie and Linda. I still don't see why you had to walk home in the rain, Wright said. I had to let him go, right? I had to let him be. You mean you were going to fight him if you got on the bus together? No, I mean, Socrates was lost for a moment, straining for breath on the thin mattress. I wasn't trying to help him. I wanted him to feel bad because I did. I wanted that girl. I wanted him to pay for ignoring me. But I was wrong. That's why I walked home in the rain. I don't get it, Wright said. Later that night, Wright slept on the fold-out lawn chair that was Socrates' guest bed. A guest bed means an extra bed in your house that you use for guests. Socrates awoke to the snores of his friend. Ralphie and Linda and Angel, sitting at home with Warren, were on his mind. He was thinking about them. The cold in his chest was breaking up, and he was going to live. I'm not bad, he said to himself. He repeated the phrase. And if I'm not, then you aren't either, he said to some imaginary friend. It's you and me, brother. Wright sat up then. He stared across a small and disheveled room at his friend. Disheveled means that it's not cleaned up. It's dirty. Not dirty like dirt, but dirty as in messy, like things need to get put away. Are you okay? Wright Burke asked. If you are, Socrates answered. The 2 old men laughed. Later, they raised a toast with apple brandy to the Lindas that they had known.